You know, you get to the stage of bringing a car back to where it is no longer economically viable. There is no economic excuse, if you like, for continuing. In fact, you could argue with a Porsche 928, there never was. Because all of these cars, pretty much all of them, are in a state of deferred maintenance and therefore not really worth doing. I got it to the stage, if you remember, the last time I produced a video showing the costs, which I'll put up here, about 22 grand, including the purchase of the car, and that got me to a reasonable state. But the state it got me to was not as reasonable as I would like. So, you know, the gearbox was the real problem. I had a real problem with that gearbox. When it was cold, it slipped. A lot of revs, a lot of noise, not much action. So now we are going into the danger zone, folks. We're going to spend quite a lot of money on this car. And as I sit here now with the car in front of me having been finished, we are way past that. So let me show you. We're going to go and see Matt at Collector Car Services, and I'll show you all the work that we've had done with new gearbox, electrics. We've made a lot of progress on electrics. There's even been some suspension work. Come on, I'll show you. All right, Matt, we're back. Oh my God, you've done some work this time.
Just a little.
Right, my friend? Holy my God. And we've put quite a bit of money into it as well. So let's talk about what we've done. Firstly, the transmission. We've got a brand new automatic transmission under here. Yes, an automatic box. I decided not to manual swap my car for simple reasons. One, it will never be a manual car. It'll always be a manual swap car, and therefore if I ever wanted to sell it, haha, unlikely, it will always be a manual swapped car, not a manual car. Two, I'm told that you have to cut into the firewall in order to make those changes. The cars do not come ready for that manual swap, and that is, I'm told, also problematic. And thirdly, I wanted to keep it original, and that's the kind of journey I'm on with this car. Everybody said, if you want a manual car, go buy a manual car. So I have decided to put an automatic gearbox in, can continue my journey with this car of making it better and better and better. That's where we are. Back to the action. Now this was probably, and I don't know what I'm talking about obviously, the easier part of the job, right? Is it really sort of a bolt out, bolt in kind of thing?
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. It's just unbolt the subframe, drop it out, and take off the old one and put the new one in.
So the subframe being this part here?
Yeah, all of this. So all here, it bolts up there. So all the suspension, everything comes right out.
Yeah. Look how clean it is. I mean, it's unbelievable. Look how clean this is. It's not going to stay like this for very long, I think. So literally, you just take the old one out, put the new one in. Pretty straightforward. So the next thing you did, or rather whilst this was out, you did the torque tube, didn't you?
Yep. So the torque tube is up above the exhaust.
Yeah.
Goes in between the transmission and the engine.
Yeah.
Which it has bearings inside that the drive shaft spins in, along with a counterbalance weight. And that weight had broken free and was just flopping around in there. And
that counterbalance, that was to sort of stop the vibrations, was it? So ironically, it was worse than it was.
Yes.
And we've got that done as well. So we've now got a rebuilt torque tube.
Yes.
And we put those reinforced ones in, didn't we? So that, and if I'm right in saying, and again, I'm usually wrong about these things, but that means you did away with the vibration one in the middle. Is that right? Is that because you get the longer reinforced ones, and therefore you don't need that one in the middle?
Correct.
So we shouldn't need to have to do that again.
Nope.
Right. Okay.
That'll outlast the entire car.
Oh, well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. And the transmission, how does it feel now? I haven't driven it yet.
It's amazing.
Is it?
From how bad it was to how it is now, it's night and day.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. That's the sort of transmission part of it. There isn't a lot to say about that. But then, shall we talk about the electrics?
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot to talk about.
That hasn't gone quite so well, has it?
We haven't got everything fixed, but we've got a majority of it fixed. we've got the gauges working, which I think is huge. It's important to see, what's going on with the engine.
Yeah.
So that's working now. We repaired a large section of the fuse panel.
That's
where,
good. That's
an
good.
entire section was dead. There was no power getting to it. So now that's all working.
Was that just because it had fallen, just over time had perished or something?
It was a lot of connections. They use these little plastic connectors everywhere.
Yeah.
And with the connectors being encased like that, corrosion had built up and the electricity wasn't flowing.
Right.
You take all this stuff apart, clean it, make everything nice, put it back together, and half the time it works.
So anybody who's got a 928 is now going, yep, that's what 928s are like. And, these cars were, they suffered a lot from deferred maintenance. And this is what you get if you don't look after a car, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what this car was just a horribly deferred, maintained car.
Yeah.
And we're slowly bringing it back. So the other thing, the things that we kind of got working but don't work are the rear hatch release. It triggers it or something, right? But then it doesn't actually open.
Yeah, so now when you hit the button, you hear the motor run, but it doesn't actually release the latch. Okay. So that's now we've repaired the electrical side of it. Now we need to come back and repair the mechanical side of it. Exactly.
And same with the rear wiper, right?
Yep.
The relay now is clicking.
The relay now is clicking. It's giving power to the wiper motor. The motor does not turn at all. We've tried just hot wiring the motor, and it seems dead. Yeah, okay. So we've either got to source a new one, rebuild this one, whatever we go towards.
I can't imagine. That'll either be very cheap or it'll be $2,000. I don't know yet. We'll find out.
Go either way.
It could go either way. But we've got a sunroof.
Yeah, sunroof opens. You get the whole 6 inches of open roof.
Yeah, at least, the most 6 inches, I would say, on that. So all in all, we've made quite a bit of progress this time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, how many hours have you worked on it this time around?
Oh.
Gearbox was how much, do you think?
The gearbox was not that bad, actually. The removal and install and the rebuilding of the torque tube and everything, I think was around 20 hours, 20 hours.
15, 20 hours, yeah. Okay.
A lot of time went into the electrical. We also did a little bit of suspension work. We did the upper control arms. The ball joints were totally gone, toasted. So on these, the ball joints aren't exactly easily serviceable. So it just makes more sense to buy rebuilt control arms. Okay. So it came with new bushings and new ball joints already done. Yeah. So we did the removal and install of that.
We did the left rear axle as well, didn't we?
Yep.
Why did we do that? I can't remember.
It was this axle, actually. Yep. The boots were split.
Oh, really?
And they were spraying grease everywhere. Okay. And if you leave that, eventually the grease runs out and destroys, your CV joints, and then the small repair becomes a bigger repair.
Yeah. But this side is okay still?
Yep. That side's fine. Good. That side looks like it was probably done maybe 10 years ago or so.
Right.
This side looked original.
Right.
Where, somebody already took care of this side.
And then the upper control arms over here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, look. Yeah. Folks, this is about as clean as you're ever going to see this car again, I think. That's great, isn't it? So I should notice the difference of that.
Yeah.
That should drive a lot better, shouldn't it? Look how clean that is. Wow. Yeah. I just want to take another look at how clean this whole gearbox is here. Folks, this is a brand new gearbox. New old stock. And I thought, well, if we're going to put one in, rather than find a replacement one that somebody had used, let's put a brand new one in. Look how clean it is. It's great. Brilliant, Matt. That's superb. Well, thank you so much, my friend.
Of course, no problem.
That's terrific. I can't wait now to go out and have a drive and see what it's like. Yeah. So we'll go and do that.
Excellent.
Okay, first drive. Here we go. We'll do a costs video and how much I spent on this car another time. But it's a lot. So I'm hoping this is a good experience. Let's see. Here we go. Let's edge our way out. Oh. All right, here we go. First drive. God, I hope this is good. Here we go, here we go. Oh man. This is like chalk and cheese compared to where it was before. It feels faster. We've got actually a lot of smoothness here with the new gearbox. Brand new gearbox. Oh, this thing just goes now. So before I was getting a lot of slipping, a lot of revs, not much progress. Now it's torquey. I don't even have to use the revs to get going. And I've got all my gauges working, including this little economy thing down here, which is, I'm really less interested in seeing what that's like. My heater's working. That didn't work before. Well, the heat worked, but the actual blower itself didn't work. I can open my sunshine roof. Sunshine. Sunshine. Oh, let's move on a bit. We're going a bit slowly. I'm getting a bit carried away now. I just closed my sunshine roof. We've finally got a car, I think, which is actually going to be fairly reliable and usable, even when it's cold. Oh, I'm feeling all the power of the engine, which I don't think I've felt before, which is really, really cool. All right, coming up to another T-junction. Just goes. These things are pleasing to me. You might think watching this, oh, of course it just goes, like over any other automatic car. Well, this one didn't, and now it does. And it's that journey from taking something that wasn't so good, but you're sort of tolerating it because that's what you like to do. It's called, I think, masochism. And now we're coming through the other end. We've got a car that looks fabulous, goes really well, goes like it's supposed to go. The air conditioning, I don't think, does work. No, we've still got that to do. The cruise control, no bueno. We got to fix that. But I think we're beginning to turn a corner. And that just gives me the greatest amount of joy. And the other thing is that vibration dampener thing that was rolling around in the torque tube is now no longer doing it. And that was causing quite a bit of noise in the car. And it's not doing it now. And it's not like a metallic scraping noise in there. The whole drive line from the transmission forward to the engine just feels super smooth at takeoff. Moving through the gears, there's so much, it's so much better than it was, so much better than it was. So I'm delighted. I think it will also maybe handling a little better because of the suspension work we've had done at the front, and the axle at the back just makes me feel that things are just a lot more solid and I'm not spewing grease everywhere. So what's next for this car? Well, coming to you on this channel in the next few weeks, I think, I hope, we'll see. Firstly, I'm going to take this down to Amelia Island. It will be appearing at Radwood, which is really, really great. I've always wanted to go to Radwood. I've got the perfect car for it. So we're going to take this to Radwood at Amelia Island and show it there. So that would be great. We're going to put this car on the train. My son Louis is coming with me. Epic. But after that, when I get back, I'm thinking, now that we've improved the mechanicals of this car, we should improve the performance of it a little bit as well. Coming soon to this channel, we start on the performance of the car. So hang around for that. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're enjoying this 928 series as much as I am, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching.